A good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. This is Big Girl Diary. Okay, today, this video is going to be a little different. I'm going to talk about John Leguizamo, but however, normally I would put this on my other channel, but it has more social parts, so I'm going to put it here. Now, John Leguizamo made a statement on his that has happened to come across my feed on Instagram. One of my followers, so I'm just like, okay. I wasn't going to, I haven't really addressed too much as far as immigration, the social aspect of it. I was always talking about the political part of it. But this time, since I saw this, I thought, let me go ahead and address it because I don't think many people will, because Black Americans has taken a step back and said, hey, hold your own water, right? So John Leguizamo made a statement, and I found it quite interesting because he was talking about illegal, or not illegal, but he said undocumented people being rounded up and sent to Gitmo. John, stop it. You're twisting it, and that is a Democratic move. Please don't do that. You don't have to like the president. Heck, a lot of people don't. But however, we have a right to choose whomever fits our best interests. It just so happens having 28 million undocumented people that turn the country red is not in the best interest of people here. Most of all, I find it quite rich that you take such a heavy stance when these people are not living where you live. They live where I live. I am directly affected because I live in a sanctuary city. And as far as the money that was pouring out from the Democrats, it was crazy because it wasn't going to the US citizens. It wasn't going to the naturalized citizens. And heck, it wasn't even going to people holding a green card. But I find your stance quite interesting because this country has been very good to you. Actually, this country has been good to many people that came here legally. Now, some people come here illegally and they manage to become legal. However, I'm going to move away from the legality of it. And before you say anything, my ex-husband is Latino. And it's quite interesting because he said indigenous, native, indigenous Latinos. Before I get into this, let me tell you something, John. Many of you can attest to this because in a Latin culture, it's extremely colorism. They have this saying, cure the race, especially in Dominican Republic, cure the race, become white. And that sentiment reverberates throughout entire Latin America. So Central, South America, and even Mexico, you have that mindset. So when I hear indigenous people are treated like crap and are placed on haciendas or reservations. I find that quite and let me go and give you an example of it right here. Sammy Sosa, a baseball player from DR or Dominican Republic. That's him now. He had to be got that cake soap and yeah. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But however, come on, John. And then when you talk, I'll go ahead and let you hear what he has to say.
Who profile to them as undocumented. So it's not really, it was never really about getting criminals. I was just about getting Latin immigrants who are undocumented out of the country. And now they're going to send them to Guantanamo Bay, which will be our first concentration camp set up by America.
Okay, hold on. Before I get to that part, let me address this one real quick. Concentration camps started with Black Americans that were fighting for their freedom from slaves during the Civil War. So instead of giving the slaves their freedom as they were fighting for the U.S., because the US says, hey, if you do this, then we're going to do this, this, that, and the other. Of course, that was a lie. But however, concentration camps were started here. Hister started, he didn't know anything about that until he came here. The people here taught Hister how to use concentration camps and what to use with Xylon B, because in case if you didn't know, it was used on Mexicans for 40 years. They sprayed them because they're like, well, you're dirty and you got insects and bugs on you. And they did it for 40. Okay, wait a minute. Had it right the first time. 40 years. Okay. A bit of history in case if you didn't know, you do know now. So John, so that the Fourth Reich, you're late. It happened a long time ago. Okay. So you're just recycling. Okay. Recycling. But I just wanted to say that right there.
The Fourth Reich is taking over, y'all. We got to stand up, fight against this, speak out. Even if you voted for Trump and now you regret your vote, this is the time to act out and make up for your transgression.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. You really went there, John. Come on now. Come on. You know that there's such division in Latin America because every country has a different culture. And you're talking about Florida. You know, the Cubans are like, oh, no, the Puerto Ricans are like, oh, no. You got to go. Okay. Don't act like you don't know. Keep in mind, John, these people that you're fighting for saying, oh, these are my people, they don't live in your neighborhood. They don't. Stop it.
With the new Florida law that police officers can arrest anyone who they think is an undocumented immigrant, they're not targeting criminals who are undocumented. They are just attacking Native Americans, indigenous Latinos who profile to them as undocumented. So it's not
okay. The Latinos, indigenous. If look, when it's happening to Black Americans, it's okay. John, I never seen your outrage. I never seen your protest. I never seen anything. I'm not saying that Latinos don't protest. I would say not in great numbers. There might be a few people that might be married to a Black American, like my ex-husband. He was, down there with me whenever something was going on in a Black community. So it is what it is. But however, it wasn't in great number because if it doesn't affect you, then, why care, right? It's not happening to you. But now that it's happening to you, now it's like, hey, everybody, come help us. That's why you hear crickets. People are like, wait a minute, especially Black Americans are like, hold your own water. Okay, hold your own water. You weren't out there for us, so why should we be out there for you? And when he said undocumented, again, if somebody came into your house, you didn't know, you come home, you're calling the police. You're going to have them removed and in jail. But as far as the Gitmo stuff, come on now, John, come on. You don't have to like Trump. A lot of people don't like Trump, but it doesn't mean that you got to twist the facts. The facts are he is sending the people that are committed, that are illegal. Yes, illegal, not undocumented. No, illegal. And they're going to Gitmo. They're going to Gitmo because of the stuff that they were doing here. Look, we have our own criminals, okay? We have our own. We don't need additional criminals doing killing, raping, stealing, fighting. I mean, New York, man, John, really? Come on now. Come on. And plus, John, we all have the freedom to choose what party best fits our needs. Now, I would say having 28 million illegal people from around the world, okay? Around the world. They just are starting with Latinos. And you call indigenous that are on haciendas. Please stop it. Please. The native people are treated horribly in Central and South America and Mexico. They put them on haciendas. Come on now. Stop it. Y'all don't, you have that colorism going on there. All right. And it's just quite interesting, but let me finish it up.
Not really. It was never really about getting criminals. I was just about getting Latin immigrants who are undocumented out of the country. And now,
just like I said, people that are undocumented, what do you do? Do you know all horrible things that are happening to undocumented people, especially the children? Trump has found, what was it, 20,000 children? But you know, it's really easy and it's really interesting how you that you are just simply focused on the undocumented people and being deported and this, that, and the other, but you haven't mentioned the children. I'm kind of looking at you side-eyed, okay? Side-eyed. Yeah, I use Drake. He got his own problems. But come on, John. All right.
now they're going to send them to Guantanamo Bay, which will be our first concentration camp set up by America. The Fourth Reich is taking over, y'all.
Okay. All right. I'm just, and even though that I like him as an actor, he's a good actor, he's a funny comedian, and I put the political part because I have two channels, but I put the political part because it was more social on this aspect of it, and what he was talking about was a social aspect of the United States and how he's trying to gather up call to action. It's going to be a tough one to sell, John, because you know the Latino vote goes 50-50. So start looking at the Latino community and looking at what they want, because everybody from different countries have a different experience and people get here or come here in a different way. And not everybody's happy having all these people come here, losing their jobs, all this other stuff. I mean, you know, it's really something, but it's also affecting the Latino community too. And that's why Latinos voted the way they voted. Now, if it were Kamala Harris, oh my God, man, the United States is not a global thing. Even though that we have people from around the world, we are not a democracy, even though that people are saying it. And if you don't believe me, let's say this. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic in which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice as for all, right? And we really need to take a look at that. Really need to take a look at that, because we are not how can I say, an open society that you have some people, some globalists that have a vested interest in bringing everybody here and making the United States like the UK over there, which England's like, look, I'm done. London's like, I'm done. No, hold your own water. This is too much. But as far as that Gitmo, John, come on now. And the Fourth Reich, hey, like, subscribe, leave a comment, You don't have to agree or disagree with me, because we can agree to disagree. We can go to 7-Eleven, get a Pepsi. I like Pepsi, shake hands, and walk away and respect one another. But because I have a different point of view, it's not an attack. It's my point of view. It's my experience. Just as you have your experience, I would never attack you based on your experience and your political beliefs. But on that note, I want to thank you for stopping by.